Welcome to Sick Flicks, Episode 1, Season 1. Very special. We are here. Dalton, how are you?
I've been better, but I didn't want to postpone this first episode any further. We've had too many delays.
Too many delays.
I'm taking a little bit of poison damage right now, but I'm powering through because I love these movies and I want to talk about them. So.
My name is Mike. Of course, this is Dalton.
I'm Dalton.
Yeah, and you are listening to Sick Flicks, as I said, Episode 1, Season 1. I want to say this, two things right off the hop before we get into it, okay? Number one is we are in an amazing actual studio.
Yes.
So the quality...
It's not your living room anymore.
No. If fans of the show, if there are any...
of our first test pilot episode.
Will know that maybe the quality wasn't of the utmost.
It was bad.
It wasn't great.
Yeah.
But it was us just kind of testing the waters, seeing if we had fun doing it.
It was fun.
And if we could talk for a while about the movies. And I think we had a blast. So we're gonna officially do this now.
Now we're gonna make you listen to it.
That's right. And hopefully we sound much better, thicker. Louder,
yes,
less tea popping and pee popping as I just pee popped all of those.
Yeah, you did.
So I just wanted to say that we're actually here at Radio Western in London, where we both currently reside. So thank you to Radio
London,
Western.
not at Radio Western.
Yeah, not at Radio Western, but in London. So thank you to Tim and Elijah and Ryan for allowing us to be here.
Thank you very much.
And also, you may be listening to this on Radio Western 94.9 FM, and if you are, thank you very much. And you can get an uncensored version, maybe a little bit extended, depending on how long we go, on all your podcast platforms. So, so look for that. The second thing I want to say, and I think you'll agree. Okay, I'm going to assume, but I in fact, I don't want to assume, but I think you'll agree. If this goes well in any way, shape, or form, I'm willing to sell the fuck out immediately.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I texted you before the first episode.
Yeah.
Before the pilot episode, and I said, dude, all I want is a Tubi sponsorship,
right?
And that's the whole reason I'm doing this.
Yes. So I just want to be very clear that we're both willing just to sell out immediately.
We have no morals,
and we will sell out. So if you start hearing ads or whatever and you get annoyed, just know that we said it on the first episode that we will sell out.
Regret nothing.
Sell out immediately.
If you guys don't like the ads. We don't care at all.
I mean,
you can let us know. It will have zero impact on us.
Zero. We're gonna sell out so quickly. Like even at like 100 downloads or something on an. If there's any hint that there's a sponsor like just sniffing around, we're gonna take it. Okay. And
I'm gonna start just sponsoring people without their permission. That's how badly I want it. I'm just gonna start,
And really, our goal is to just have a Tubi sponsorship.
Yeah, that's all we want. Tubi.
Now there's other podcasts that their hosts go on and introduce Criterion Channel films and all that kind of stuff.
We want a Tubi collection.
Our goal is only to get a Tubi collection. That's it. So
Runaway Trains on Tubi. Presented by Mike and Dalton.
Yes, 100%. So I just wanted
retire.
Retired. We'll quit all of our jobs and that'll be it. So I wanted to kind of get that kind of stuff out of the way first.
Yes.
Since it's our first official episode. I just wanted to be very clear with the audience that we are punk rock in a lot of ways, in the way that we think, the way that we feel, some of our tastes. When it comes to monetary things, give us money.
Yeah.
Money now.
Before we get too deep, I want to apologize to everyone listening. I occasionally will be coughing or sniffling. I am not doing so hot over here, but I just want to preface it.
You're bringing great enery right now.
It's going to be such a rough first episode already. We're in the studio, but we're not at 100%. So.
I just got back from TIFF. I'm still recovering from that of 9 days.
Dude, when you got back, I saw you 2 hours after you got back. You had no idea where you were.
I said it on stage. I introduced the movie at the Highland where we both work, and I introduced the movie, and I literally, my introduction started with, I don't really know where I am right now, and it was just pure exhaustion and time.
4 coffees.
I had 4 coffees that day to get me through, and but I'm feeling a little bit more rested.
You
are
good.
Yeah,
at least one of us.
Is
running on at least 80%.
My feeling is that once we get into this, we're gonna be cooking pretty good here, because, and this is like, I want to say this, with both of these films, we're going to be talking about Unstoppable. Is going to be the first film that we're going to
Tony Scott masterpiece,
absolutely, and then the second film will be a very special film called Money Train.
Yes.
Now both of these films for me very awesome, but this
very
is
sick,
just
like me,
very sick, just like Dalton. In many ways, both physically you're sick, but you're also quite sick as well.
Yeah, thank you.
This is very much a Dalton coded episode. Trains. Maybe you can speak on it. Why, what the deal is with trains? Why
autism.
You're so
Colson. We're working together today. Train 1206. Is there a problem?
I just don't like working at a damn daycare center.
I don't like working at a retirement home, so.
All right. This ain't training. In training, they just give you an F. Out here, you get killed.
We have an unmanned train rolling into a highly populated area with no air brakes.
Yeah.
006.
What's up?
There's an unmanned train on the northbound track.
It's under power?
It's coming straight at us. What are we worried about in terms of cargo?
8 freight cars of hazardous chemicals. We're not just talking about a train. We're talking about a missile the size of the Chrysler Building.
I need to know where that train is.
We're not exactly sure.
You're not sure? We'll find out. Watch out!
It gets worse.
This is Will Colson, your conductor. We're gonna run this bitch down.
Tell your sister I love you both.
The train is increasing in speed.
We're gonna be coming in too hot. Just lost our brakes! Hey! Close your eyes if you want it.
You got a real knack for inspiring confidence, you know that?
I met you at TIFF.
Yes.
And what did I talk about for the first 20 minutes?
We went and had lunch, and you gave me a rundown as to what kind of train you came in on.
Yes, and that was the highlight of I went on a train. Mm-hmm. I saw a movie called Train Dreams.
I mean, is there anything better? There
wasn't. No, and that train was nice though. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna get into it. But it's a train episode. I feel like I'm allowed to just say
absolutely.
The train that I took from London to Toronto was very nice.
Now, did you take a train from Toronto to London?
No, I didn't. I took a bus.
Took a bus.
It sucked.
That's too bad.
2 a.m. bus.
That's rough.
It's rough.
That is rough. Okay, so to kick things off here, Unstoppable, Tony Scott's film from 2010, celebrating its 15th anniversary.
Yes.
Believe this is Tony Scott's last film.
Final film.
His final film. Yeah. And it follows a train 777, as it is careening out of control, and our 2 stars must help to stop it.
They do whatever it is unstoppable, but they try their best.
They do, yeah. And so this movie, if you don't know, but that's a little bit about sort of the setup of the film. It stars Denzel Washington, Chris Pine, and that's kind of like the basic sort of info about the film if you don't know it. Now,
before you
go for it.
To anyone listening, if they haven't seen these films, this will be pretty spoiler heavy.
100%.
Like, that's going to be our whole thing. Just talking about what's in these movies and how awesome it is.
Yeah. How sick they are.
So if you want to watch these films spoiler free, maybe revisit this episode after you've seen them.
Yes.
Unstoppable, 100% worth checking out, and Money Train I think is too.
Yeah.
Maybe more for a specific type of person, but Unstoppable has a wide appeal.
Absolutely. I think with the stars, I mean, the stars of Money Train, I mean, are
they're
big too, but it's different. Chris Pine, Denzel Washington.
Different era stars.
Different era for sure. So, Dalton,
Yes.
since this is an important movie for you, what was your first time? What was it like watching this film, and what was your reaction like? Was it immediate, like this is a Tony Scott train movie, I must watch it, consume it?
It was not.
What's your experience?
So I was much younger, probably end of high school. This film came out, and it was almost like it was not really on my radar. I saw the ads, I saw the stuff.
Yeah.
And it seemed kind of like almost like a joke movie, like if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And
do you remember what the tagline was, or like?
I do.
Yeah.
It's I didn't at that time. I know it now because I see it's 100 million tons, 100,000 lives, 100 minutes, or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. But why I asked that is because that gets to your, like, it kind of seems like maybe it's not a serious film or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
and the way it was advertised was kind of like, it seemed like a little bit of a joke. But I was at a friend's house, and we were kind of like just looking for stuff on TV.
Sure.
And I couldn't think of, and for some reason, literally don't know why, like a lightning bolt, I just go, you know what I really want to watch? What like could be awesome is that movie Unstoppable. And he was kind of like, really? And then we watched it, and we were both like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like we were locked in on the first viewing. And then I kind of like forgot about it a little bit over the years, or like I would talk about it like when it came up. But when I was in college, I think I talked about this on the pilot episode too. I got really into Tony Scott. Like he's my favorite director. I've watched all of his movies countless times.
Many times.
It's usually like a Friday night special. It's another Tony Scott movie over at Dalton's. And this one really just kept. I've seen this movie so many times.
Yeah.
Like if I were to look at my letterbox to see how many times I've watched it this year, I don't want to say it on. I feel like it's embarrassing, but
I mean, is it more than 5 times this year?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
dude, I went to
we're
Toronto.
in September right now.
Yeah, I went to Toronto in July, and I brought a DVD copy. I didn't have a DVD player. I didn't. on the off chance I'm gonna run into a DVD player, I brought the Unstoppable DVD.
Now, did you end up watching it on the trip?
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
I did.
How did you watch it? Did you watch it on DVD?
No.
Watch it on streaming.
I brought my laptop as well, which I have on a hard drive of all of Tony Scott's movies.
Of course,
legally acquired.
Legally acquired. Yeah.
Definitely not. But my best friend and I went to the Jays series against the Yankees there.
Some might say the turning point of the season, actually.
Yes. We're not going to turn this into a baseball episode.
No.
But,
we could very easily.
We'll save that for the fan, okay?
Yeah.
We'll have to do that for the postseason. We'll do the fan.
Oh, yeah, dude, like November or something? Maybe that'll be in our November episode.
Yeah,
I don't know.
postseason's October, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but we're gonna be doing some horror stuff probably or adjacent, right? I know, but we could do it in November though.
We could.
One time you and I watched The Fan together, and then went to Toronto in the same day.
Did we go to a Jays game that day?
No, we went and saw Challengers at a very awesome theater.
Let's not. Let's.
And then picked up some film prints, and it was a great day. But we kicked the day off with seeing The Fan. But we'll tell the full story, I'm sure, on the Fan episode.
We'll have a fan episode.
Yeah, we will.
My best friend and I were at the baseball game, and he and I have bonded over we've been best friends for a long time. But one of the things that we do, he lives in Alberta, I live here. but we have like the ability to watch movies together simultaneously.
Yep.
And we do Tony Scott movies quite a bit. He's grown into quite a bit of a Tony Scott
I think
fan.
you showed him Last Boy Scout at some point, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. His favorite though is definitely actually it's either Unstoppable or Deja Vu are his favorites, because when he watched Deja Vu without me and he got like really
stoked.
He was texting me all night and I was like, this is like the best text message I've ever seen. His name's Aiden. If he's listening, give him a shout out
for sure.
Great guy. So that was my Unstoppable experience. How about you? When was the first time you watched this movie?
I mean, I can't really clock it, to be honest with you. I feel like it was somewhere in the 2012, 2013 range.
Yeah.
I was kind of... This was post when I know it was post when I got back from LA, because I was doing kind of watches of films, like full like days where I just watch movies all day.
Best days.
And for various reasons, some might not be the most healthy.
Sure, of course.
Mental health reasons, but we've all been there.
Yeah.
But that was kind of how I was coping with what I had just been through in terms of the experience I had in LA making a movie. So I didn't really want to get into something where this is going to sound bad, but I didn't want to watch something that inspired me at all to make movies.
Yeah,
I just wanted kind of...
You wanted like dumb entertainment,
like stuff that was really entertaining. So I started, just going through really surface level movies and like and stuff that I had seen. So a lot of rom-com-y type stuff. A lot of like
Nicholas Sparks, dude.
Yeah, and that's when the first time I saw Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh yeah.
Again, just films that like that just hit me in a different way.
Yeah.
And this was kind of part of that. That's the first time I can consciously remember like watching it.
Yeah.
It didn't
in a stream of movie consciousness.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously at that point I had seen most, if not all, Tony Scott movies. And
so except that one.
Except that one, because it was his final one. So I didn't see it in theater. And that's the time that I remember like really like locking into that movie for the first time. And similarly to you, I didn't really like, in the sense of I didn't really have high expectations for it. So I was like, oh, Denzel's in a movie about a train. Sure. A Tony Scott. Sure.
I think it's the best way to see the movie, because
it is,
because it has no right to be as good as it is.
Has no right.
Like it is
no right.
And we've kind of in this little conversation here, we've joked about it being kind of dumb entertainment or something like that. But like in terms of like,
but I don't say that negatively in this context.
Absolutely not. And because it's a very simple premise, it's a very simple plot.
Yeah.
It's a 2-star vehicle with a giant set piece for a whole movie.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
The thing about the movie is, on like a filmmaking craftsmanship level, it is staggering. It is so impressive.
So good. The pacing, the performances, everything is just like pitch perfect.
Yeah, and like so to prepare for this episode, you and I watched it on the big screen.
We did.
At the Highland, and the owner stayed and watched it.
Yeah.
And she loved it, which I was surprised. I mean, like, not that she wouldn't like it. I think she would have, but like she was raving about the technical aspects of the movie, and I was like, okay, it's not just me. Who gets that like this movie, because like I'm kind of like, I've seen it so much. Anytime I talk about it, I ramble, you know, and people don't want to watch the movie after talking to me. You know, but and a few other of our coworkers came and saw it who had never seen it.
Yeah.
And they were all like, that movie was awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see, it's not just me going off and saying, you know, like, this movie with a train rules. You
That's
know?
right.
It's like, it's real, like, impressive filmmaking.
Well, I think, too, is that, you know, maybe for a younger audience, or maybe a new film lover that is just coming into, you know, maybe watching films on a regular basis or whatever, this is a kind of film. It's right at the tail end of this era.
Yeah.
Because this is a real intersection in, basically after this, Marvel and superhero movies really take over the theatrical experience.
Yes. Studios aren't betting on movies like this anymore.
No. And so for the next, we'll say better part of, not better part, for the next,
years.
15 years, but we'll say up until COVID, so the next 10 years until Endgame, essentially 2019. The superhero space is
a stranglehold.
It's just a stranglehold on the industry, and I mean for good reason in the sense of that's what's making all the money.
Yeah.
But a film like this,
they are entertaining.
that's a whole other podcast.
They were.
But there's like with anything, there's positives and there's great things, and then there's maybe some not so great things.
Mm-hmm.
However, one of the consequences of that happening to the industry is a movie like this basically goes two ways. Either one, it doesn't get made at all, or two, it goes straight to streaming and is buried and doesn't have a Denzel and a Chris Pine and a Tony Scott and a Rosario Dawson.
Yeah,
right?
there was recently. I mean, I think it was either a Korean or Japanese film, Bullet Train Explosion,
yeah,
or whatever it's called, which looks awesome. I really want to watch it.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah,
but like that's what this movie is today, right?
Yeah.
It's somebody made a movie that Netflix picks up, and it's like,
but it doesn't have Denzel.
No,
it doesn't
no.
have a director like Tony Scott. It
No.
doesn't have Chris Pine. It doesn't have Rosario Dawson. Like it really, this was a time where a movie like this could be made on a somewhat
and perform like decently.
and that's the thing is it actually made money.
This is Fox, right?
Yes,
this movie. And nowadays, I mean, Fox doesn't really exist. It's like
it's Disney.
It's Disney.
Yeah,
like
it's
Searchlight
an arm.
still exists.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess,
an arm. Yeah. They just acquired Fox's catalog in the merger.
Yeah, but like it's really if they have their overlords now.
That's right.
And they don't get to just make Unstoppable now,
No,
right?
no.
Like no studio is doing this.
No, and I think the jumping off or to sort of piggyback on your point about the technical filmmaking, this is someone who's been a filmmaker that has been doing this for decades.
Yeah.
Who knows how to make this movie? I think the thing that hit me on this watch was for no pun intended, but the pacing of this movie.
It's
the
relentless.
It is. If there's not something funny or entertaining happening in a dialogue space or furthering the plot in some way, shape, or form, it's an action set piece.
Yeah.
And so it sort of is doing this thing where everything on screen has a purpose. It's not too long. It's not too short. It is propelled by this one idea. It's a perfect paced movie in my opinion.
It is. The camera is almost always moving. The plot is always everything is constantly moving.
Yes.
Which thanks to the editor being I don't know how you edit this movie.
I know.
It's
there's
crazy. Things like that should not work or should not go together or like could be sloppy, but it's not. It's like so tight. Everything is like perfect from a construction point of view.
Well, and I think the other thing that hit me this time too was that in a movie like this now, or I would say post, say 2012, 2013, this movie's also done in a way where maybe one of the leads has kind of a backstory or something, and everyone else is kind of just like servicing the lead, right?
Yeah.
And no one but this movie, like, you really care about, like, each character has their own story and why they're there, and in terms of like the main characters.
Yeah.
And in a movie like that, like this, do we really need that for the movie to work? Probably not. But does the movie work better because of that?
Yeah,
of course
absolutely.
It does, right?
And like he's very efficient at it. Like it's not like it's not let's introduce all these characters and then get into the story. It's on the fly. It's all on the fly. It's all very natural.
Well, the scene that stands out to me is where you find out that Denzel's daughters work at Hooters.
Yeah.
Now this does two things, and this is efficient filmmaking. Okay, this furthers the plot or the story because you have to believe that these two guys care about each other, and so they have to have a bond. Okay, so that's that has to be set up in the first act somewhere.
So he can joke about his situation and how like they can bond over.
That's right. Well, so that's the other thing.
Yeah.
So you get the backstory of and kind of get well, Denzel, he has two daughters, but he doesn't have
dynamic.
You have his whole family dynamic. So now you know what his situation is, and then it does the second thing, which is because they start, as you point out, they start joking about it, and they have this like kind of nice moment together.
You're blushing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You have that moment. So actually, that scene, even though it's maybe 2 minutes, maybe
not even. Yeah.
It's so quick, but it's always the scenes are there and purposeful and always doing something, right? And there's no long drawn out exposition of this or that. It is very, like I said, efficient, and everything is doing the thing that is doing a thing to further the film and to bring you along. And that's just that. It's just a nice little like. Do we need that information? No, probably not. But is the movie better because of that information? It is, and that goes for Rosario Dawson, and it goes for obviously Chris Pine. You really get to know his character. Denzel, of course. Like these kind of moments are even the relationship between the three of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And bringing the dude over from who's kind of like this whiny guy that you think is just going to be like a bitch the whole time.
The railway safety inspector.
That's right.
Yeah.
But he kind of becomes part of the team.
Dude, he's like the encyclopedia when you're there.
That's right.
You know about molten phenol? Yes. It's used in the manufacturing of glue.
But he becomes part of the team, right?
He does, absolutely.
And that's where
even their enemies become like Galvin.
Yeah.
Like eventually he's part of the team, even if he's working against them. It's like they're all on those calls together. They're all I mean, even when Denzel and Chris Pine are like kind of like chirping him and like whatever, it's like you still feel like it's a team working to solve something.
That's right.
He is like the big bad, I guess, but.
For sure, but again, like you just feel like where I wanted to get to with the team thing is that this was a kind of movie, and this is a little bit. I don't want to go too nostalgic here.
Yeah.
But however, it has to be said with this kind of movie is that this has the ingredients of films like the films that I grew up on when I was a kid, which was, an Armageddon, for example, or an Apollo 13 or whatever, where you have this ragtag group that are trying to do something. Sometimes it's to save the world. Sometimes it's to save a city or whatever. But you get to know each one of these characters. You have your favorite one or whatever, and they're all going towards the same goal, right? And then you get certain things which are, in Tony Scott movies, they happen, but also in a lot of 90s movies, 80s movies, they happen, which is one of it always works on me, right? It's in the movies that I mentioned, but it's in a lot of other films that are in the same sort of boat, is when the thing is finally done. So whatever it is. In this case, when the train is finally stopped,
the unstoppable train is
finally stops. There's usually a bunch of cuts to a bunch of people cheering,
celebrating.
It's celebrating.
It's missing from. It's the best thing in a movie.
It's so good.
You're getting me going now.
Yeah, it's so good. Dude.
Tony Scott does it all the time.
All the time,
and it's. Anytime something happens, like a major, it doesn't even have to be the climax, but it works way better at the climax. Is like it makes it 10 times more rewarding because I want to cheer.
Yes,
like there's a little moment in the movie where the where the
fist, dude.
So there's a bunch of them.
Yes,
but. Like when the kids are on the train or whatever, and they're cheering, and like when we watched it, I was cheering along with them.
Yeah.
But like
all time's train time?
Yeah, it's so good. But the like all of the like operators on the radio and everything, they'll lean back in their chair and just like pump their
Pump the
fist,
fist.
and it's like it's so good.
And you know when Denzel is like on the train,
two fists
and
up.
they got the fists up, and they're like go, and they're like cheering him on.
Everyone's the people at
going.
Hooters are clapping.
Yeah,
it's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's so good, man. And that's something that, like I said, it is 2010 when this movie comes out, but it has all the layers, shades of films from that sort of 80s and 90s.
And 90s. Yeah, it's sort of like, it feels like kind of the last kind of movie like this.
Well, that it's interesting because there's a lot of those in the next, I would say between there and 2014. You have a bunch of things that essentially end, which is the era, like the early 2000s to about that period of time. The kind of horror films that are being made sort of go out of style, and you're about to hit the new sort of what's called a quote unquote elevated horror is about to take over.
It's right when those remakes started being like the only horror.
That's right.
out,
that are kind of really hitting.
That was like 2008 to like 2013.
That's right.
Like
And
that,
so it happens, horror is very good about sort of recycling itself. And that was a time where it was about to recycle itself. You have that. You have the big studio comedy is about to die. And
it has a few more years.
It has
left.
a couple more years, but it really ends with This Is the End. A couple years after this, and that's essentially it.
Was that 2015?
2014,
around.
I think.
Yeah. Okay. So that's about where.
So you and essentially ends the Apatow comedy era reign of the last 10 years.
Seth Rogen starts doing like TV,
like TV and dramatic stuff, and Jonah Hill is starting to do dramatic stuff.
Yeah, because 2013 he goes and works with Scorsese.
And so he's off and running on his stuff, and so
you kind of action movies,
and a kind of action movie also kind of dies. Now there is somewhat of, and we kind of talked about it in our first episode about the Statham and that kind of stuff, and you have The Rock now trying to pick up but
it's different.
But it's just different.
I mean, Statham's kind of still hitting those things.
Yeah.
But like, it's almost, I know those movies don't have like a huge budget, Statham's.
Yeah.
But they still feel like they have too much money. Like he needs less money.
Less money, to make something cooler.
I think, because it's just, there's like, it's
formulaic. It's
there's
almost
so much CGI, and it's like,
yeah.
I don't mind CGI, but like, the action thing for me is like, you want to see something blow up.
Right.
Yeah. And like, which is funny because Unstoppable doesn't have a lot of explosions.
No, but
it's got like one big one.
Well, yeah.
And ultimately, I mean, just to bring it back to the movie for a second, we've talked about how we consider this to be a monster movie.
Yes.
Unstoppable, right? And 777 is the monster in this film.
100%.
And you see it like overcome all of these challenges, like everything they throw at.
Almost, I mean, I'm not the first one to say it.
This is what I'm going to say is...
Yeah, we're not the first ones to say it at all.
No, but you don't want it to die.
You don't want it.
You don't want the train to blow up by the end of it. You want them to stop it, and you want it to be okay.
I think...
Like, it's a weird thing to say, and maybe like when you're watching it, you're like, I didn't get that at all, but like subconsciously, I think...
See, I think it's very obvious, and I think the most obvious point in the story and in the movie where this is like at the height is when they try to derail it.
Yes.
And you're like, dude, there is no way that this fucking train is going down right now. In fact, I don't want it to.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's not even like... Because you do want them to stop the train.
Yes.
But you're like...
But not right there, though.
No, not there, and you don't want them to do it that way.
No.
Because
it seems too corporate.
It would be so unceremonious, like it's...
Well, and just to kind of wrap up the team aspect of it as well, like the story also involves each one of the players, so it's not just... Well, Denzel stops it. No, he's a part of it. It's not just Chris Pine that stops the train.
No,
it's not.
He has to get help from hopping on a truck and driving.
Yep, has got to do that. But they like when you watch it at first, you're kind of like, well, I wish it was more. You almost want him to jump off the train and stop it with his hands, and then it'd be like,
you want like Superman, like him to be Superman and just stop it with.
And then it almost on first watch, you almost feel the guy in the truck that comes in.
Yeah.
It just saves the day. And what did the other guys do? But when you watch it again, it's actually designed so smartly because that's not possible unless Denzel and Chris Pine
slow it down
because that train's derailing on the curve.
Yes.
Right. So they're able to do what they're not able to stop the train unless they get through that curve, right?
Yeah.
And so everyone has their part to do. Rosario Dawson has her part to do, And I will say this about Rosario too. She gets like almost all the best lines in this movie.
She does. She absolutely does.
It's awesome.
Like Chris Pine has a couple like we're gonna run this bitch down.
Yeah.
And a couple. Denzel's got some good ones.
Yeah.
But Rosario Dawson has the best line in the movie.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Which is, we're talking about a missile the size of the Chrysler building. And how often do I just say that to you with no context?
No context, yes.
It's like, she got the best lines in the whole movie.
Yeah,
Ned has some good ones,
Ned
too.
has some, oh, that's right. Ned is
the guy in the truck.
Guy in the truck.
Do it, you pussy!
When he's telling Chris Pine to jump.
He's got his foot is torn to pieces, and he's just like, come on! Jump into this moving truck going however fast.
Yeah, dude, that's so I wanted to throw that out to Rosario, that she did such a great, I love her performance is great, but also like her lines are unbelievable in this movie. Okay, I have to ask you, just because I gotta know kind of, and you gotta pick, I would say one or two
favorites, sickest scenes.
Give me your or sequences or something, give me one or two.
Okay,
You can't say the whole movie.
I'm not going to.
You can't say the whole movie, dude.
I have an answer.
Okay,
I have an answer.
Because you could just say, and then just go by minute.
I'll give some honorable mentions, but I
Sure.
have one real one. So, honorable mentions are when Denzel and Chris Pine are talking to Galvin on the phone. Denzel's like, "You can't fire me. You already fired me." And we get that whole reveal, and then Chris Pine does the, "Mr. Galvin, this is Will Coulson, your conductor. I'm gonna let you know we're gonna run this bitch down." It's like, it's so good. Or it's usually dialogue bits, when they figure out that 777's not a coaster, it's under power.
Yeah.
And it's coming at them, and then the guy on the radio goes, 1206, go faster. It gets me so hyped, because it's and then the music kicks in, and it's from that point on, you are off. That. Yeah. The movie really kicks it into high gear there.
Yeah.
But the best scene for me is the horse trailer,
of course,
at the crossing.
Yes.
There's a shot in that scene in the trailer.
Yeah.
The train coming, the horse on its hind legs, and I'm like, this is so because that's a real train.
Yeah.
That's a real horse.
That's right.
And you have parked this on the tracks.
Dude.
As someone you and I have, we've worked making movies and stuff like that.
Sure.
Watching that, I'm sweating going, dude,
I know.
What are you doing?
It's a great sequence.
And it's the amount of cuts and everything. Yeah. And then when the train hits that trailer, it is so satisfying.
Yeah.
And so oh my God.
Yeah.
That's one of those big moments where that train, you're this thing is a menace. This thing is it's not to be, whatever, but it's unstoppable. It is.
Not to be whatever. Yeah, no.
But it is.
It is.
You're genuinely it blew through that nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
And they shoot it, it's bulletproof.
Dude, the shooting scene is unreal.
That's another honorable mention where it's and then the news announcer
the news footage is
going, they're trying to hit this button the size of a quarter, and it's surrounded, it's right by the gas tank, and they're gonna fire shotgun rounds at it, and you're like, what?
And
then the guys yelling ceasefire, they just keep shooting at this thing. It's like,
dude, it's really
American movie making right there.
It is. So,
for yourself,
yeah, for me, I mean, I kind of already talked about it, but I love when the movie, especially in this film, the climax of the film. So they finally, the hero comes. You know, everyone's like so stoked that Ned's coming down, and
the people at Hooters are going crazy.
And Denzel's up there and he's cheering, and Chris Pine
takes off his hat, he's yelling.
Like that moment, and then the cut to the boys in the the
high
fiving, yelling at him. Like,
it's so good.
I just love that whole thing. That, you know, the payoff to that is so great.
It is very sick.
That was what I was gonna go. So personally, that's my favorite part, aside from, I think, the sequence of around the curve.
It's really good.
That sequence is awesome.
When those the metal tubes
tubes,
and the camera, it like almost hits the camera.
Yeah.
It's
I love that whole sequence of them trying to get it around the curve,
hitting the brakes, and you watch it like.
So that brings me to the last question, and I know you've already answered it, but how sick, and is this movie sick?
This movie is unbelievably sick. This is one of the sickest movies I've ever seen. Yeah. This movie, I feel like, is the reason this podcast exists, radio, whatever this is.
Yeah, it's definitely. I would say it's in the top 3 things why we probably wanted to. Which is why it's in the first official episode. We already knew what the first episode was going to be.
Yeah, we had a few options, but it was a no doubter.
No doubter.
It was going to be unstoppable.
That's right. Any last thoughts on Unstoppable? Well, just to end it off, or is it sick and that's that?
I mean, I will say, I mentioned it briefly. Like,
yeah.
I've watched this movie so many times.
And
it's a very important movie to me.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, like, besides it just being a Tony Scott movie, a train movie, and Denzel's also my favorite actor, so like it has all of those things going for it. There's something else in this movie that, like, when I'm looking at it from like an abstract point, like not currently watching it, if I'm looking at it from the outside, there's a lot of things that I'm just like, oh yeah, I really like that. But the experience of watching it is unlike most movies I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
And it's the reason I keep going back to it. I mean, I love movies.
An illness is what it is.
It's an illness, yeah. It's an undiagnosed something. But like it really is, like there's very few movies that I will watch this consistently. I do have a handful that I am obsessed with and I watch like 10 times a year, you know, and it's movies that either they have a certain feeling to them that nothing else I feel like will get me there. So there's certain bigger studio films that'll do it for, or certain auteur films like PTA films and things like that. But with this one, it really is just like there's nothing as like constantly like it's the quickest watch. Like
it's so quick.
Like
oh my god,
it doesn't feel like you've watched a full movie.
Yeah.
And it's one that I actually have to stop myself from rewatching as often as I do. And my butt Aiden, who I mentioned on the show earlier, I gave him a DVD of it earlier this year, and he goes, you shouldn't have given that to me because it stares at me like the Green Goblin mask. And I said, dude, I literally feel the same way. I see it there, and I always like. I had a rough day. It's like, dude, you know what could make my day better right now?
How many times have I dropped you off after whatever?
Yeah.
You know, we see the Jays game or went out to and go and see another movie or whatever, and you're like, maybe
do Unstoppable.
Maybe just do Unstoppable. Just
like another.
It's like a nightcap for
you. It
is.
It really is. It's like most people, you know, they'll get home from work, had a hard day. They'll, you know, maybe I'll have a beer tonight.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, maybe I'll watch a Tony Scott movie. You know. And it's usually what's the lightest, easiest. Like I don't have to use my brain, and I can just
you can listen, visualize.
It's comfortable because I've seen it so many times, and it's like I love these characters. I love the setting. I love everything about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm very glad that we could do this.
Hey,
this movie. It
that
means a lot.
Well, yeah, and I think it's almost better that you're kind of getting over this cold and kind of on cold medicine and stuff. Because it almost.
If I was at full power, this episode would be.
But
really
that's
long.
what's kind of interesting is that you're using the train and Unstoppable to power you.
Me,
and
exactly.
so it's a really.
I got my independent brakes off right now.
You're unstoppable.
I'm
dude.
unstoppable.
I mean, I think that's it was on me. I wanted to give you that space to be able to kind of wrap that film up because I know it's so important. But another.
May I ask before we move on?
Yes.
Before we met.
Yeah.
This movie. For you was
just a fun action movie.
You liked it.
I liked it. I maybe saw it. I think I told you I saw it before you started working. At the Highland.
Shortly before. Right?
Shortly before. I know because I was in my place before I had just moved to London. I remember watching it. I had the Blu-ray. I just picked it up because it was just another Tony Scott. That I
just
didn't
want it
have
for the collection. Yeah.
Have it in the collection. Threw it on. I was like, man, this movie rips.
It's awesome. Yeah.
And it kind of reinvigorated, in my mind because I don't think I had seen it since the first time that I watched it. So I was just like, man, that's cool. And then we started. Obviously, you started working at the Highland. We started hanging out. And in one of those discussions. We told the full story on the pilot episode, so go and listen there.
A little segue here.
Yeah, but the Cole's notes is that we were talking about this movie, Unstoppable, train movies.
It was
your
at
obsession.
work.
It was
in
at
the
work.
office. Yeah.
Your obsession with trains. And I threw out 2 words to you.
Oh, yeah.
That just made your brain. I know it just made your brain
Dude, my eyes got crossed. Like I was.
And you almost just left work.
Dude,
just
I was
to go
so
home.
ready. I was so ready to leave.
And that is the very sick movie called Money Train.
Money Train.
It's Christmas in New York. A time for giving. A time for peace.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's rumble.
But beneath the streets...
Come on, Grandma!
Stay. For 2 transit cops...
This job can be hazardous to your health.
It's no holiday.
They say you guys are the best.
Well, modesty prevents me from... Well, no, it doesn't. We are the best.
You just always got to be the coolest. You always got to be the smartest. You got to be the guy who gets the girl.
Let's see what you got now.
You're a bad gambler, Sonny Jim. You're in debt up to your eyeballs.
I have to look after my brother.
I can understand about you and your brother. What I'm not understanding is what's going on between you and me.
You brought the money, right?
Yes, $300.
Hey, Mother owes Mr. Brown $15,000.
$15,000?
Drop it. They made their reputation by being on the edge.
You want me to admit I have a problem? Okay, I have a minute problem.
Minute? John Bobbitt, he has a minute problem. You have a sickness.
But now...
You're a disgrace to this organization. You're a wreck looking for someplace to happen.
one of them is about to step over the line.
3-4 million at least. You know what we could do with that kind of money?
We're not going to rob the money train.
Why not?
Because we're cops.
Charlie is going down, and you are the only family that he's got.
Get on or get out of the way. Money Train.
Mike kind of grazed over that. We did talk about it in the other episode, but I need to for our listeners, I need you to understand what happened. So
it makes me laugh so much, dude. It's so
based
good.
on what this show is, we love movies with very straightforward titles. Very this is what it is.
Yeah,
it sounds sick already. You
Unstoppable.
know?
It is one word. Boom.
Perfect title.
Money Train.
Money Train. So Mike and I are talking train movies. We're like, oh yeah, Runaway Train, Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3, Unstoppable. He goes, oh, and of course Money Train. And I'm not even looking at, and I turn my neck gets whiplash. I just go, the what? And he goes, you haven't seen Money Train? And within we had the trailer pulled up.
Oh yeah,
480p,
240p.
Like,
and I was like, oh, it has, the one with Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes, and you're like
what? Like,
early J-Lo performance.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes is what got me. I'm a big Snipes guy.
Yeah.
And then we watched the trailer, and I told him immediately. I was like, man, I was looking up where to stream it. I was like, when I got home from work that day, it had I didn't even have my sweater off yet. Like my backpack, I just set it down, and I had Money Train started.
yeah.
Like I was so excited.
Yeah.
That there was a movie in the world that I had not heard of called Money Train.
And did it deliver?
It delivered. It was exactly what I wanted.
It's exactly as advertised, right?
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
It was, So
this could have
get into it now.
Well, this could have been a Tony Scott film, and in real life, kind of almost was, right? There was some stuff about the script.
He was considered to direct.
Yeah,
he was attached for a little bit, I believe.
Yeah, this movie comes out in 1995. As I said, it's Woody Harrelson, Wesley Snipes, who both in 1995
playing brothers, by the way,
and they play brothers, which is awesome. It is explained.
It is explained a little bit, but
this film is directed by Joseph Rubin, who also directed The Stepfather, the original, not the remake. Sleeping with the Enemy with Julia Roberts, which actually is quite a sick movie.
It is a pretty sick movie,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
And The Good Son, which is a really interesting
with
Elijah Wood and Macaulay Culkin, and which is kind of an interesting thriller. Not quite a horror movie, but almost.
Yeah,
it's very dark.
I forgot about that.
And definitely a 90s staple.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. So, and of course, one of my favorite things is actor or director runs. So of course, I know all these things, movies, but I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget. But Wesley Snipes' run from White Man Can't Jump, who they starred in together, Woody and Wesley in 1992.
That's a good movie too.
It's great. Snipes does Passenger 57, Demolition Man, Drop Zone, The Fan, Murder at 1600, U.S. Marshals, and Blade.
Dude, how is that for a run? That is a run.
Are you kidding me?
That's dude,
that's
several of those movies will be on this.
Absolutely will be.
Yeah. Passenger 57. There's no way we're not doing Passenger 57.
No, there's absolutely no. I mean, you could actually pair that with Drop Zone if you wanted to. But,
absolutely.
But
I was thinking
executive
decision.
I know it will be probably with executive decision. Yeah. But I mean, Murder at 1600. If you don't know what that movie is, it's a murder at the White House, which is why the 1600 is
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania is the address to the White House. It's kind of like a political thriller. It's actually maybe the film that isn't as well known as all the other ones. U.S. Marshals is actually a sequel.
Marshals is awesome too.
It's really great. It's actually a sequel to The Fugitive. Mm-hmm. So, what's his name? Tommy Lee Jones reprises his role, his Oscar-winning role from The Fugitive to U.S. Marshals.
I gotta rewatch The Fugitive.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good.
It does hold up. And I know, U.S. Marshals maybe wasn't as awards heavy as The Fugitive.
It's a crowd pleaser though.
But it's a crowd pleaser, and Wesley Snipes is great. So, anyways, that's his little sort of that's a 5-6 year run right there. Although those movies aren't in 10 years or 20 years, all of those movies are within 5 years.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd read out that go through his run real quick.
Yeah.
Just because he was a very important figure for me growing up, specifically with Demolition Man, and we will do a deep dive into Demolition Man for sure.
Yeah.
Because
picked up the 4K.
You got the 4K. We got to spin that, and it will be on an episode for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously all these movies were rental staples in the 90s, and he was just, he was an actor that I loved growing up, and you just knew if Wesley was in a movie, I'm even if it's not his best movie, I'm gonna like the movie.
Gallows Walkers.
That was a little. I think that was after.
Way later.
I think that was after the jail time.
It was 2012. But that's me because I'm with you.
Yes,
love Snipes. I discovered that one, and
a couple of other interesting things about this film, and then we'll get into the movie. There's a couple of writers on this film. on this film that touches other films that we've either done or have talked about, which is so Doug Richardson wrote Die Hard 2, which was directed by Rennie Harlan, who directed Long Kiss Goodnight, which we did earlier. He also did Bad Boys and Hostage as well, which is pretty cool. David Lowery actually wrote Passenger 57. So there's a tie-in with Wesley there. And also Star Trek 5.
Sweet.
This is really the first big break for Jennifer Lopez. In the sense she's great in this movie.
She is.
And believe me, we're gonna get into it a little bit with J-Lo. But she then goes on to do Selena, the biopic of Selena after, and she's very good and really her career really kind of takes off. She's in Out of Sight, which is an out of sight movie.
Oh, dude,
she may have.
I was gonna message you about Out of Sight the other day.
She might be. Maybe one of the most gorgeous looking people in history in Out of Sight, in my opinion.
Money Train too.
Money Train. There's no slouch either. A couple of fun cameos. Tony's sister from The Sopranos makes a quick, very odd, interesting moment in this.
Actually, it's very problematic.
But not in the way that you would think. The gender roles are reversed. in that scene.
She's trying to take home Wesley Snipes.
He's
drunk, and they're trying to take him. Two women are trying to take him home and take advantage of him.
Correct, and they're very obvious about what they're doing. Also, the dad from Veronica Mars is in this movie, so like the TV show.
I know what Veronica Mars is. I don't remember who the dad is.
Anyway, so those are a couple things I wanted to mention about this movie. Around, of course, the movie is that these two guys are brothers, quote unquote, and there's a train full of money. And
it's actually an interesting premise.
It actually kind of is. Go into it,
because it's the setup should be as basic as someone's trying to rob the money train, but it's not really.
No,
there's the weird what's that actor's name? The Chris plays a huge piece of shit all the time. He always plays like a terrible father. He's the one with he's like a super villain in this movie.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
What's his name? What's his name?
I should have done more
Chris
research.
I have while I'm talking, I'll look it up. But there's these weird subplots in this movie that keep coming up. If I can figure out what his name is, he's literally a super villain in this movie. He walks up, he targets only women. Chris Cooper.
Right, that's right. Yeah. So he's burns them.
He
has them on fire.
He has a weird
Chris Cooper,
a villain suit, rigged up to shoot kerosene or gasoline or something out of his wrists. Will go up to wherever you get your tickets for the subway, and he just sprays them with gasoline and sets them on fire, and it's it kind of has nothing to do with anything.
No, but they're trying to figure out who's doing it or try to catch them, and that's kind of why they're down in the one of the reasons why they're down.
Yeah, because it's disrupting the money train.
Yeah,
and basically Woody Harrelson is also a huge degenerate gambler, who has so much debt, so an unbelievable amount of debt.
Yeah,
and to the point where, and his luck is so bad. Wesley Snipes,
stand-up dude,
very stand-up guy,
straight edge,
looking out for his brother.
Yeah,
gives him the money to pay off his debt. What happens? He gets pickpocketed on the subway.
Yeah,
because of course, right? That's just his luck. And I'm not saying of course, in terms of a plot thing, but that's very fitting to his character. Then the plot of the movie reveals itself in the last 30 minutes of the movie, when Woody Harrelson tries to rob the money train for his gambling debts.
That's right. Well, and the other thing is they had to 1-2 punch him, right? Because you introduce the character of Jennifer Lopez.
They also do a lot of 1-2 punching in this movie.
They do, yes. They introduce the character of Jennifer Lopez, who is this new, the hot new person that's working for the train authority. So
are they cops or do they work for the train authority?
They work. Yeah, they work for the train authority. Yeah, because they're not cops.
They're not cops.
No. As far as
I thought they were cops.
I'm almost positive they're not. You could look that up too.
No, they are, because she is like detective whatever or sergeant. What, like she has a title that's like.
I mean, I'd pull that up. It's guaranteed. It's on the IMDb. But while you're doing that, she's introduced into the fold.
They are transit cops.
See, transit cops. So
both.
So they're kind of they kind of go so sick. Dalton just pulled up the poster. So they kind of do these like little sting operations to like catch different people, and she's introduced into this fold, and Woody Harrelson is infatuated by her.
Yes.
Unfortunately, she's into Wesley Snipes, and there's this little love triangle, and. Right at kind of his lowest, after all this, stuff has happened to him, he finds out that the two of them, J-Lo and Wesley Snipes, have been hooking up with each other, and so it's kind of he
walks in on them in bed together.
In bed, yes, and so that's kind of the between that and the gambling debts that sets him off to rob the train.
Yeah.
Talk
about getting kicked when you're down. Eh?
I know. Also, one of my favorite lines in the movie, because there's a few. Nothing stops the money train.
Yes.
You fuck with my train, I'll kill you.
Yes.
And that's the guy who like runs
it.
The money train.
That's
one of my favorite lines in the movie, if not my favorite line. So that's
there's a lot of I was trying to think of, I had written it down before we did this. We actually watched these movies several weeks ago as well.
And separately.
We watched Unstoppable together.
Yeah. But we watched Money Train separately.
We watched Money Train separately.
I watched the copy I watched was on VHS.
So was mine, because you gave me the VHS.
Yeah, dude.
And I remember I'd written down a few quotes that I liked, but I did it on paper, and I don't have the paper with me.
Oh, that's okay. But
I remember
you fuck with my train, I'll kill you is so good.
But the one that I always liked was the was it like, I'm not gonna let you hit him. Why? Because I'm gonna hit him.
Because I'm gonna hit him. And then they bring that back like 3 times.
We're both gonna hit him. And then they hit him. So good.
It also has speaking of endings, like we talked about with Unstoppable.
Yeah.
This has the almost what's the Trading Places type ending.
Yeah,
where,
absolutely.
Like, you think. They gave, they got out of it or whatever.
The ending's really funny.
It's really funny. But, Wesley Snipes kind of steps in to try and get him to not, because the train is now it is a runaway train at this point. And they're trying to still conceal the fact that it's them, which is pretty funny. And then Wesley Snipes is trying to convince him, hey, it's all good. You got to leave the money. We just got to get it.
Steal the money. Let's just get out of here with our lives and not go to prison.
And not go to prison, right? Yeah. So they get themselves out of the jam in one way or the other. And then what happens? What happens at the end?
Well, they escape into like Times Square, New Year's Eve, or whatever.
Yeah.
And they hug. It's another like one of those celebrating things.
Celebrating. And it's revealed.
And then you find out that he took a bunch of money.
Took a bunch of the money. And it's like, but it's played
and then they're
for
yelling at him, and they walk off, and the credits start, and it's such a great beat to end the movie on.
And let's not forget the opening credit music.
The song, dude. I think it was. I just kept texting.
Yeah, you did
when it was playing, and then I posted on like my Instagram story. I was watching Money Train. I found the song and like had it playing over the Instagram story.
So the credits are just so 90s, both front and back credits where they happen is just so 90s. This is a strange movie in the sense of, I cannot see a world in which this movie is pitched and made today.
No, I mean, I could see a like we talked about before, maybe a Netflix smaller budget kind of movie.
Maybe, but here's
it's not
the thing.
same. It's not even close to the
like
same.
the stakes are so it's not that they're small, but they're not huge.
They're not huge. No, it's really just like this one train line is going to be disrupted.
And they want like a bunch. I mean, it is a substantial amount of money.
It is. It's a couple million.
Yeah, but it's like, I just mean in the, it's hard, if you were sitting in a pitch meeting and, and you had to do the like, what are the stakes and blah, blah, blah. It's like, this isn't end of the world stuff. It's not even Unstoppable.
No, it's
level,
also one of those movies that like, and I think a lot of the movies from the 90s and stuff don't get made nowadays because a lot of problems could be solved with a cell phone in this movie.
Right. 100%.
And like, or like his gambling would look different. He would probably be like an online sports bettor or something like that. And then you don't have the tough guy trying to, unless he's like banned from all those, he has to go to sketchy bookies or whatever.
Right. But, so it's just, again, it's just a lost in time type of film that just, I remember, and I mean, obviously we've done When You Saw It First.
Yeah.
For me, it was one of those rented, this was a film that I had to see for one very specific reason.
I know why, yeah.
Why is that?
It's because of a scene involving Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. I mean, Jennifer Lopez because I didn't know that scene existed.
Sure.
But it is specifically because Jennifer Lopez was in the movie.
Yes.
So that means it's an instant rent. And it just so happened also to have Wesley Snipes, and I'm like, that's awesome. Love Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
And so it was a
Were you a Woody
staple.
Harrelson guy at that time, or you weren't really as familiar with him?
I wasn't as familiar with him.
You've probably seen White Boys.
No, because I was 10 when this movie came out, so I was 7 when I mean, I remember the posters and stuff, but it was R-rated. I couldn't see it. So even this movie, I didn't see in 95. I saw definitely in 97 for sure. I would say 97 was that's when a lot of the movies came into play.
Or
no. This was a staple. I remember actually.
Friend's
More than likely watched this with my mom, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. We had this is kind of a weird, maybe this is a weird way to end this episode. My mom and I had this weird, I mean, I guess it's not weird, but we had this signal, okay? And it was, I'm telling you, when I tell you, when this happened, nothing in the world happened. And it mattered.
Gotcha.
Okay, when this happened, okay, this usually, it was either in the summer, so summer, obviously no school, so it wouldn't matter what night it was. If it was a school during the school year, it usually was either Friday or Saturday night. And I would initiate this, but we had this signal because I had younger, so my siblings are 9 and 10. I'm 12. Yeah. Okay, so I'm able to.
You got to watch.
I'm started, and I'm as long as there wasn't any like I wasn't renting, hardcore nudity or if it was an action film like Wesley Snipes, it was an action film. If there was
you're watching it for the action.
That's right. So what would happen is, let's say it's a Friday night, in September, and we're going to rent a movie. Yeah. There's a good chance that we're renting something for the family. And then I would give the signal.
The signal that you can
get
one
and
for
I
you.
would usually initiate it, and it was a very specific eye wink, and if she did it back to me, it was on.
It's game on.
And what I knew at that moment was that I was gonna, eat the pizza and watch,
something awesome tonight.
Some Disney movie usually, which I loved. Like, I still love Disney movies and stuff. But I was, like I said, being 12, I was like kind of into the action stuff. My siblings weren't quite there yet. And I knew that as soon as that movie was over and the younger siblings went to bed,
getting to the goods.
We are getting to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And it was my mom and I watching a movie, and we went through all of that's when I saw all the James Bond. We went through all the James Bond.
That's so awesome.
Like every single James Bond movie. Sometimes my dad would watch them with us.
Sure.
But a lot of times, like,
it was just you
because he was a farmer, so he would get up at 4 or 5 in the morning.
He doesn't want to stay up late.
So he doesn't want to stay up past like literally
Did
like 9,
Did he do
9:30.
the dad thing where he like comes in and like stands like 5 feet?
100%.
Hands on the hips.
Yeah.
Watches half of the
like
movie
a little
and then,
bit.
all right, I gotta
All
go to
right,
bed.
I'm going to bed. Sometimes he would sit down. Sometimes he would watch. Well, like if it was a James Bond that he really liked, he would like watch the James
Was
Bond.
he a Connery guy?
Connery for sure, yeah. Connery, a little more, yeah. But they also really like Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan was like right in their wheelhouse, right?
That was the one I grew up with, and I had all of his on VHS and watched them.
I mean, so anyway, this was part of that slew of movies,
great.
and so that's where I watched the Goodfellas. I watched for the first time that way. Reservoir Dogs, all the Godfathers, all the classics of cinema. Where I saw between I would say 96, 97 and 99. I would say September of 99. Those three-ish, 3.5 years because were huge for my like love of cinema, and it was mostly after dark. So anyway, Money Train, is it sick?
It's very sick.
Yeah.
It's along with Unstoppable, it's kind of one of those movies lost to time.
It is.
We're not gonna get another movie like this. It's the reason that we want to talk about these movies. They don't make them like this anymore.
No.
And it's such a cliche to say that, but like they really don't. I mean, I am obviously like I hadn't heard of it, and this is my wheelhouse.
Yeah, dude.
Like that's how much these movies aren't like making. So if the people listening have never seen Money Train and they go and check it out now, I will feel very happy.
Yeah, even if one person does
you listening right now, if you go and watch Money Train right now, you will make us extraordinarily happy.
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun.
You'll make yourself happy.
You will. It's just a lot of fun. You can't really dissect it from like, that you're watching Goodfellas or The Godfather. It is a different kind of movie. It is the pure entertainment side of things. It is there for fun. It feels very, Shane Blackian, if you can call it that, in terms of the script and whatnot. It's just a lot of fun.
Very quickly before we end, do you have a sickest scene in Money Train?
I mean, to me, there's, yeah, I do. Yes, the short answer is I do. I really like, and it kind of comes out of nowhere, but also you have to understand the context. When Wesley Snipes breaks out his like fighting moves in that one scene, and he is like he's a transit cop, okay,
but he
is like just
kicking ass,
like Chuck Norris dropping, like drop kicks and all that. So I love the fact that like rewatching that, it kind of feels like it came out of nowhere. At the time, though, that's what I'm looking for. I'm waiting for that scene, because I'm like, oh, he's gonna, right? Oh, here it is, right? So that scene is really, it like hits me. Obviously, to me, the sequence, like really when Woody gets on the train, and really the last 30 minutes of that movie,
that's got to be mine. It's Woody on the train when Wesley gets there, and they have that when they figure out they have to like just like gun it, and they have to do all that, and then you get to really see them working together. And like they hate each other right now, but they love each other. It's that, and when Wesley's on the tracks, like with the gun chasing the people down. All of that is great.
It is. That last sequence is really what the movie is about. Like that's what everything is going towards. So
and it really pays off.
It does pay off. It's a lot of fun.
It's a very fun movie. And I know we keep saying one last thing, but this is the last thing I want to say before we go. Unstoppable. Very, very glad we did that.
Yeah.
I do think a better pairing for this movie probably would have actually been taking a Pelham 123.
See, the reason why we didn't do it is because we didn't both land on it. I think, right?
Yeah.
I like that movie, but there's still things that they're
like they're very similar.
They are, movies. But for me, like
maybe the original, maybe not the Tony Scott one.
Right. And
then
like,
it's different.
Then it's maybe I could get there. The problem to me with the remake is that I just don't think the movie totally works.
Yeah.
It's sick because of like
It
Denzel
is,
and whatever.
Travolta.
But Travolta, like,
Yeah.
but really the third act of that movie just didn't totally work for me.
I'm with you. I'm just saying, I feel like they go together.
But this
That's
is
all.
why
That's
we're
it.
doing.
That's all. That's
yes,
all.
no, they do, and like would encourage listeners. You can go and watch that movie too, and
Yes.
pair that with Unstoppable or Money Train. However, really the format of this, and we've talked about it on our own, but for the listener is like if we both don't think it's sick,
Yeah, if we're not dying on the hill
Right.
of it's sick,
then we're not. It's not going to go on. It's
And
not
that's-
going to go
and
on.
I'm in 100% agreement.
So there's certain films that I'll bring up and you'll be like, well, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And there's certain films like that where I'm like, yes, but like Money Train is
I'm with
so
you.
much more
I'm with you.
sick.
I'm with you.
So
No, I
but
meant Money Train and
Money Train and Taking. Got you. Yeah. No,
I think they work well together.
they do. Yeah, for sure. Like
That's all.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to shout that out.
Yeah, this has been episode 1 of season 1 of Sick Flicks. Unstoppable, Money Train, both sick.
Both very sick.
We're not going to tease the next episode for a bunch of different reasons, but it will be coming in October.
Yep.
We will be doing this once a month. This is not going to be. This is the other thing. We're not doing this week to week, dude.
No.
Both of us would literally die if we had
got
to do
a
that.
lot going on.
We have a lot going on. But yeah, it's
But we want to do this for you, and we will make sure to keep doing it for you.
and we want to make sure that it's sick.
Yes.
And if we're doing it week to week and we were all like we couldn't give it the energy, maybe it wouldn't be as sick, right?
Yeah.
So everything is about it being sick. So thank you for listening to
Yes, thank you.
Sick Flicks. I'm Mike,
I'm Dalton.
and we'll see you on the next episode.